Before we can incorporate the butter to the dough, we are going to work this butter a little bit. So dust a little bit of flour on a piece of parchment paper. Place your butter. Make it kind of even here. We are going to put a little bit more flour on the top. And now we are going to pound this butter with the rolling pin. We are going to flatten the butter. So the butter is nice and flat. We are going to fold the butter in half, just like this. And we are going to repeat that. We add just a little bit more flour, just a little bit, we dust it.
Okay, so now that your butter is flat, you're going to fold it again. And add a little bit of flour on the top.
So now we folded the butter back again on itself, so we give it a nice rectangular shape. And that's our butter package, and now we are ready to incorporate this butter package to the previous dough we made. So now we are going to incorporate the butter to our dough. So make sure you have flour on your surface so nothing sticks. So we are going to take like a scraper, make 4 marks here. And we are going to roll out this piece of dough like this. Make like 4 flaps. You don't touch the center. So now I pick up my butter, put it right here on the top, and now we are going to fold the 4 flaps over. It has to cover the dough. That's what you should have. So now we are going to put the dough back in the fridge and let it rest for another hour. The dough has been resting in the fridge for an hour, and we are going to do first and second turn. So you want to make sure you dust the counter a little bit and you roll it away from you. And you are going to make like a big rectangle. So you want to make sure your edges are square. Now we are going to fold it over in 1 and 2 and 3, just like that. So now we are going to give it a turn and roll it out again. That's going to be your second turn. So one more time, we square the edges, nice rectangle. Again, we are going to fold it over, 3, and now the dough is going back and rest for an hour. So we made 1 and 2 turns. So now we are going to give the 3rd and 4th turn, and you always make sure that the side where it's folded is to the right. Alright, I finished the 3rd turn. Now we are on our 4th turn. Now I completed the 4th turn, so the dough is going back in the fridge for another hour.
Okay, so now that our dough is ready, we're gonna mix our almond cream.
And it's more or less a cup and a half of almond cream with
Pastry.
a quarter cup or to a half a cup of pastry cream. And this is depending, you know, about the size of your galette.
So now that our cream is ready, we're gonna roll out our dough.
Yeah. And assemble the galette.
Yeah.
So we split the dough in half. And we are going to roll out the base. Again, we dust the counter with some flour. Start to roll. You turn your dough as you go. So now this is ready for the base. I'm going to transfer it on this sheet pan here, and now I'm going to roll out the top. So I have the top. Now all we need to do is put the filling on our galette. Now we are going to brush the edges with an egg wash.
Want to explain what an egg wash is?
It's egg yolk and water, and it's going to seal.
It's like pastry glue.
Pastry glue. Yeah, that's a good term, Natasha. Get your pastry glue out. Now I'm going to place top.
And your pastry glue will seal it together.
Yep. So now you want to press down on the edges to make sure everything is sealed. And you can cut out the extra dough here. And now we're going to put this back in the fridge for a good half hour because it has to be cold. We have to do a decor now on the galette, and you can't work if the dough is warm. So it has been a half hour. Now it's really nice and cold, and I can finish decorating. And so you want to make sure it has a round shape, so you take a tray or a big plate and you put it down like this, and you kind of cut out the extra pieces of dough. So we have a round shape pretty much. I'm going to take another plate and about 2 inches away from the edge, I'm going to press down with my plate. And you see, it makes a nice mark like this. And now with my paring knife, starting from the center, I'm going to make some curvy lines, and I'm going to go all around. So now I'm going to work on the edges, so you're going to make some nice little curve. So now the galette is ready to go in the oven. And one thing we didn't mention, usually you need to put a little figurine in the cake, or you can also use like a dry bean, like a fava bean. And the tradition is whoever gets
the piece that has the thing in it is like the king or the queen, and that's why I've been wearing a crown.
So now my oven has been preheated at 450 degrees, and I'm going to put the galette after I put the egg wash on it, and I'm going to bake it for 10 minutes at 450, and we are going to lower the oven at 400 degrees for another 25 minutes. This is our wonderful galette.
And don't forget to check us out next week when we'll be teaching you how to make a Moroccan soup.
I'm MJ.
And I'm Natasha on Easy Mom Cuisine.